Good morning, good people. Today is Monday, November 18th, 2024. It is almost 6 o'clock in the morning. It looks like it's about 5:56. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. Here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life, heading towards a particular destination. And that destination is the place that Jesus spoke of. Not Paul, not the New Testament, not the Old Testament, the place that Jesus spoke of, which was to be one with the Father and God. And if you say, "What's that, man? What does that mean?" Well, we can kind of figure it out that if God is spirit, and spirit would be pure energy, non-baryonic. If God is spirit, to be one with Jesus and the Father, the creators, would be to be spirit with them. And the alternative is if you don't follow the commands, it is the lake of fire, which could mean something like pure energy. Recycled, going into the recycle bin. Who knows? Anyway, our goal is to help our students and interested people on that journey through this life, heading to the destination Jesus spoke of. And, one of the interesting things I have, just side note, edit this out. Side note, one of the interesting things of most Christians, not so much Catholics, but Catholics don't really know. Most of the things of Christians is they follow what Paul says. They follow the New Testament. They follow a man, not God. And when you say, well, why don't you do Jesus? They talk about Paul rather than just saying, you know what, I haven't really read the Gospels. I don't know what Jesus said, because when I go to church, we only talk about Paul and the Old Testament, or we bring in the New Testament to support something Paul said, versus the other way around. Paul should support what Jesus said. But I digress. Our purpose is to help on the journey. And Monday through Friday, we focus on physical, mental, and emotional tools to be learned how to use. In weekends, we focus on the spiritual side. However, we sometimes often drift into the spiritual because the destination is that. It's what happens after this life. And what I would say is people should come to grips, just make a commitment, think about, is there something after death? Are we just atoms in the void? Maybe I can play it both ways. I can say, yeah, there's something after that, but I'll play it as if there's nothing after this life. I get to have the best of both worlds. I'll claim that, yes, I'm a believer, but I'll act differently. I'll act as if there is nothing, that this life is all there is. I'll act that way, but I'll proclaim there is. Okay, cool. Boom. So how do we help our people on the journey? We do it in two fundamental ways: the podcast and not the podcast. The not the podcast is the worksheet. That has all of the experts on it. That is the gold. That's the 4 hours a day. If you have nothing going, that's the 4 hours a day to spend. If you do have things going, you can focus on 1, 2, or 3 parts of that. Maybe just listen to the Daily Stoic, Jordan Peterson, Seth Godin, Darren Hardy. Maybe listen to those each day. A little bit more time, do the TED Talks. Do the TED Talks. Segue. Today is day 1 of week 3 of our neuroscience-oriented program. All right, I just got these in the mail, another set. So this is it. This is the thing. It is, how many pages? About 400 pages. This is a 4-week program for people in prison. The State Pen Workbook, available on Amazon and other places. So this is day 1 of week 3 in our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. In other words, what's actually going on in your brain, in our brains, down on a neuron level, but below the neurons down to the neurotransmitter level, what's actually happening in our brain. Where do our feelings, where do our beliefs reside, etc. So this is day 1, work 3, week 3, called Outside My Skull-Sized Kingdom. So this is week 1 was introduction and orientation. What are we doing? I'm just trying to understand who am I and why do I behave the way I do. Week 2, inside my skull-sized kingdom. How does my brain work? How do these neurotransmitters, neurons, and reticular activating system? Just three things, 3 simple things in the brain that support psychology. The psychology approaches feelings, beliefs, actions, results, confirmation type of thing. Basically, that's it. Just really simplistic. That's it. Feelings, beliefs, actions, results. Okay, so in neuroscience, we go below that to say, where are the feelings? Where are the beliefs? What causes our feelings? Where are the beliefs located? And we get that our behavior is directly related to how we feel. And how we feel is directly related to what's stored in our brain. And then the consequences, the action, the result, tends to confirm our beliefs, to support our beliefs. So the cycle starts over. So this is day 1, week 3, outside my skull-sized kingdom. And what I first noticed when I look outside my skull-sized kingdom is, hey, there's a lot of other people out there who think the world revolves around them. But I know the world actually revolves around me. What a bunch of silly people. But I have to get to do well on my journey. I have to get these other people to help me because I can't do it on my own. Excuse me. I can't do it on my own. I got to get other people to help. So how do I do that? Today, David Logan, USC business school professor 10 years ago, he's probably retired now. His thing was, okay, well, if you want to get people to do what you want, find people who are like you. So join a tribe and nudge it forward. And then he talks about what is a tribe. He talks about the 5 stages of tribe. And he says, tribes are groups of people that have things in common. It's much more than that, but just simple thing. The briefest brief, a tribe is people who have things in common, a group of people who think similar ways in a particular area. Okay, could have a church tribe, sports tribe, or members of a lot of different tribes. So join a tribe, nudge it forward. Find the people who think the way you think. If you're nudging it forward, you're getting people to do what you want them to do. They're helping you. Right. Boom. Good system. So that's day 1. That's today. Tomorrow is how do you nudge? Day 3. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Day 3, Simon Sinek. How do you tell a compelling story? And then we'll move on from there. But the theme for today is what if? What if? What if? And let's see. So we've ordered new hats. I'm thinking about now getting a patch to on the hat that says, what if, ? And then it has a little cross down below. Because the ultimate what if is, what if we do have transcendent souls? And what if what happens next is directly related to what happens now? So in other words, if you live la vida loca now, totally hedonistic type lifestyle, if you do that now, what happens next is going to be a continuation of that. Versus if you live your life now with total meaning and purpose, and you are successful, so you put a lot of money into meaning and purpose, the next step will be related to that. So, and quick note or mind hack, brain hack. If you believe, if your what if is we do have a transcendent soul, and the next what if is, what if Jesus was who he said he was? What if the Shroud of Turin is his burial cloth? What if the image was put on there from I don't know how they say it, but the body basically vaporized. And that's kind of like a imprinted shadow, say, physical shadow. In the top layer of fibers, not threads, fibers. Fibers on the thread. Thread is made of fibers. On the top layers of fibers, there is let's call it a shadow is imprinted. What if that is the shadow of Jesus? What if it is a three-dimensional rendering of Jesus? What if that? Okay, would you act any differently? Well, I think the next what if would be, okay, so what if all of that is true? And what if the commandments he left are actually the commandments he left, which are basically three general areas. Love God. You could break that down to one. Love God, love one another. And then the next one, the next one is make disciples of all nations, baptizing them and having them follow my commandments. Okay? To love God, love one another. And if you do those two things, then you get to be, the reward is one with the Father and I. What if that's it? What if it's that simple? And all along people missed it. What if all along we missed it? So we each get to make a decision of that. But that's the what if. That's our theme, our meme for today. Let's go to the worksheet. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Gotta sign back in. Whew. I remembered the password. Whew. The bane of my existence. Okay. Advice from an 80-year-old. Be romantic. So we can carry our theme, our meme for today out through that. What if you were more romantic? What would happen? Would it improve? I think a question to ask is, does the advice from 80-year-olds always fit the categorical imperative? What's that mean? Okay, let's see what else we got. Down below, Seth Godin. He's got a long one today. Whining. It's too long to read. It's a long one. It is the long one. And so I'll just read the first and last paragraphs. It's not just for little kids, and it might not be a bug in our culture. Whining might be a feature, something that all humans have a desire to do regardless of age or position. Let's define whining as a complaint about a situation that's not easily addressed, often a situation that's relatively minor or caused by a mismatch of expectations with reality. Fast forward to the end, and when we talk to ourselves, perhaps we can have some grace for our own whining, and at the same time create the conditions and habits to avoid a downward spiral of more of the same. There's a difference between he's whining and he's a whiner. We can do the first and avoid the second. Okay, and there's a whole bunch in between. That's really important. So you can't really get the grasp of it, but hopefully you'll decide, I want to read that one. Okay, let's see. Daily Stoic. Another good one by Ryan, whatever, doesn't matter. Jordan Peterson, good one. As I said, David Logan, good one. A lot of really good stuff looking at the worksheet. A lot of really, really good stuff in here. Some stuff we change daily. It's like 5 things we change daily. Some things we change weekly, like Dr. Livinggood. Some things we change monthly, like Andrew Huberman. No, Arthur Brooks. Arthur Brooks about happiness. Some things we change monthly. Some things we really don't change much because it goes to a website, like a library of a whole bunch of other stuff, like Goggins, like Mark Devine, Baraka Church, things like that. So, what if? Let's play the what if game today. Let's see how that plays out. So we're at 17 minutes. I'm going to cut it here. I've already done 20 minutes on the Peloton. 10 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of arms and light weights. Good system. Kind of work. Now I just have to make sure to unlock the laundry room. What? Yep. And then get on with it. So everybody have a good day. Thank you for being there. Let's make something happen. 2 days is our lunch for our orphans and widows here, hopefully for 60 people. And with that, we're going to say, and cut. Bonk.